Hey, Tim Frisch with A Frisch Perspective here, just to give an update on John MacArthur and Grace Community Church's situation. I did see a comment yesterday that someone left on my channel from Nancy Hoffman. It says, "Grace to you newsletter today, 10/23/20. Join us on campus for worship this Sunday, October 25th. You may have seen a report on the news claiming that there is a COVID-19 outbreak at our church. There is no outbreak at Grace Church. We have 3 part-time employees who tested positive and are now recovering at home, having never been hospitalized. As we enter the flu season, we encourage you to stay home if you are not feeling well or have COVID-19-like symptoms. We are going to meet for worship this Sunday to celebrate the Lord's table together." Now, I don't have the newsletter myself, but I did see that on their website they do have a bulletin for this Sunday, 10/25. So you can actually look at that bulletin. So that's for this Sunday, October 25th. If you have a link to the actual bulletin, you can leave that in the comments below. I would really appreciate that. But this is the best information that I have at this point. And it sounds from what this information is giving us, like I said yesterday, there's not really much of an outbreak. Now, there have been some people in the comments that have said, well, an outbreak can mean just a few people. But the general definition that people use of outbreak is more of a widespread thing. Also, in the article that I talked about yesterday, they said that if there are a few cases of COVID-19, health officials will actually look at that to determine if there is an outbreak. So I tend to agree with what's being written here that there isn't really officially an outbreak. Obviously, they are encouraging people to stay home if they have flu-like or COVID-like symptoms, but they are planning to meet for worship this Sunday, and that doesn't surprise me. I really think that it's going to be interesting to see how all of this continues to play out. Now, I know from the comments on these videos that people have very strong feelings about this. I'm just trying to observe the situation, see what happens, and kind of report on it. I have said, though, for a long time that I respect John MacArthur, Grace Community Church, and their desire to be faithful to the Lord, to continue to meet, and also to hold the government accountable, that if they're going to put restrictions, they need to really be justified in doing so. They also need to be consistent in how they apply those restrictions. So if they're allowing protests or other things to happen, but they're clamping down on church meetings, they're calling certain places essential, and people are being exposed, but then church is not essential, I can see why Pastor MacArthur, Grace Community Church, are taking the position that they are. But as far as what will the results be of that in terms of the spread of disease, I'm sure that they will respond in a wise way. If they are seeing a spread of disease, that they will try to take more precautions. But it's also interesting to see that even though they've been meeting together for months, so far there hasn't been a lot of spread of disease. We are getting, though, into the flu season, cold season, all of that. So there is inevitably going to be more spread of disease this time of year is the way that I look at it. So like I said, I'm just observing the situation. We'll see how this unfolds. I know some of you feel really strongly in favor of what MacArthur is doing. Others of you don't like it and you feel strongly. Feel free to talk about that in the comments below. Just try to keep those comments positive, helpful to discussion. But thank you so much for listening to this update and some of my thoughts brought to you from A Frisch Perspective.